Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a screencast-matic presentation and recording for the warm-ups for the first half of the cycle that we're currently on in this particular cycle. Please remember to copy down the question and the answer accordingly, and remember to format your answer content in a different colored font. Remember, when you're finished, do not hit submit just yet, as you need the next week's corresponding warm-ups. And remember, of course, the screencast will be posted for that accordingly. Let's go ahead and get started. For Monday and Tuesday, what are key determining factors that dictate how a president governs? List and explain at least 6 examples. So we'll give you a few seconds to copy down that question, and then we'll proceed. Let's move on to the answer to the question of the day. So first, campaign promises. The types of key promises that a president or then candidate might have made to become president to assume that office are, of course, always things that are in the back of their mind. Many ways, Americans actually advocate for a person to assume this position under the assumption that they will actually advocate for these things and implement them. When a candidate does not fulfill their promises, once in office and given a position of power, that of course will be a key reckoning moment for them later on. Also, the type of mandate that people give their presidents. Essentially, what the voters voted for, they should want or get. Essentially, a voter's expectations should be filled as well, not just on promises, but on terms of restoring character to the office, dignity, and acting on other things that maybe their predecessor did not act upon. Also, sometimes people vote a new president in office to reverse the policies of their predecessor too. Also, the personal principles of a president can affect the way that they govern too. The types of morals, values, ethics, beliefs of a president are highly prioritized to them personally, so I'm sure to some extent that they actually factor into the way that they rule the country. Also, their key advisors. Let's be honest, the president is always surrounded by people who actually advise and consent them through different types of decision points. So the types of input that they receive from key top advisors to cabinet members to staffers to even maybe connections in the media probably affect the way that they govern. Also, Congress is a huge factor too. Keep in mind that the current makeup of Congress and also the shifting balance after elections can affect the way that a president governs. A president needs Congress to enact pretty much almost all of their policy agenda. And also the future. How presidents plan to act accordingly now, and realizing that their actions now could very well affect the future for a lot of Americans, might of course affect their decision making. So there you go. There's the first question of the day and the answer. Let's move on to the second one. What are some key ways that the American presidency has changed? What key powers and roles affect these changes? We'll give you a few seconds to copy down this question, and then we'll move on. So the answer to the question today is this. Over the years, many people have become a lot closer to the president and the executive branch as a whole. You see, the media institutions that we have today and advanced technology have brought the president much closer to the people, for better or for worse. People now have an up-close and personal relationship to their president. Also, higher expectations. Many Americans expect a large, active, hands-on government, ready with solutions, especially during emergency times and crises. Also, over the years, we've seen presidents push the boundaries of their privileges, whether it's analyzing their roles in terms of changing and challenging old norms and traditions, or even claiming executive privilege and issuing executive orders, essentially curtailing the legislative process. Another key thing we see is an expanded military, which affects, I think, in many ways how a president acts. In our globalized society, the president has ready and direct control over the largest armed forces capabilities in United States history. We would be remiss, too, if we did not talk about the advanced weapons capability that comes with that. With nuclear proliferation around the world, the President of the United States has control over our nuclear arsenal, and also several other key special forces. Together, this couples with an enhanced privilege and responsibility to keep us and the entire world safe. Also, in a sense, presidents today define an era. Presidents might feel more pressure to leave behind a lasting legacy conducive to the needs of the next generation of Americans. And I think in many ways, presidents always think about the ways that they'll be remembered from history. So there you guys have it, all the answers to the question of the day. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with completing the rest of the warm-ups and the rest of the corresponding lessons that coincide with these warm-ups.